Two things. Number one, check out the view. Number two, guys, welcome back to my channel. This is VitruvianPhysique. Thank you, as always, for stopping by. Today, I was thinking I wanted to do a video, but instead of doing the usual, like, hey, you know, let's sit here and talk numbers, let's sit here and talk about the food or the training, I want to do more of these kind of lifestyle videos. I realized that my channel, when it started, it was a lot more based on like just purely science. Here's what I'm doing. Other than that, doesn't matter. And that was a really good starting point. And part of the reason why I did that is because my life, especially for the first year and a half of when I started this channel, it was fairly boring and fairly monotonous, and I thought that I couldn't support an actual kind of like more lifestyle, because I thought, okay, fine, who wants to actually watch me, you know, go through like a standard workout and then sit there on my computer desk, edit, work, and eat chicken for like 14 hours a day. However, life has gotten a little, you know, just a little bit more interesting. You know, I took my life, uprooted it, moved it halfway around the planet, quit my, you know, kind of 9 to 5, started doing this full time. So now that life is just a little bit more interesting, I think that I want to start incorporating more of these kind of like daily life, just general vlog style videos, because you get to a point where you have to decide, okay, what is your channel going to be? And right off the bat, I love the fact, I feel such an honor that people respect me enough and people trust my advice enough to actually come to me for questions or hire me as a coach and take their body from a nutritional and physical standpoint and put it in, you know, my hands. You only get one body. You know, it's 180, 190 pounds, whatever, of flesh, and that's all you have for the rest of your life. What you do with it is up to you. But if you mess it up, there's no second chance. So the fact that people are saying, you know what, I'm gonna take my body, the most precious thing, the one thing that you can't put a value on, I'm going to put it in your hands. That is, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. However, I also don't want to be the kind of guy who is like, welcome to my channel, I'm just like, you know, encyclopedia of knowledge and that's it. You come here to get specific facts, and other than that, it's like, I don't give a shit. I want my channel to focus on the science of it, why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, but in addition, the application of it, showing you guys how I'm doing it, how I'm incorporating it into my lifestyle, and showing you guys my lifestyle in general. That's the YouTubers I've always watched. I love watching channels like Omar Isuf and Athlean X, Jeff Nippard, where they show a little bit more of like the actual science behind it. But I've also, like, the reason I got into YouTube is because of fitness vlogging channels, stuff like Christian, stuff like Matt Ogus, stuff where they show their entire lives, not just like, I'm incorporating 40 grams of protein and then afterwards I'm gonna go do a hypertrophy based push day. That's cool and all, and I want to see that, but I want to see more than that. So, not gonna ramble, gonna show you guys a full day in the life. We're gonna show the eating, the training, and everything else that goes into my life as I prepare to bring the best physique I've ever had later this year. Okay, should really get off this balcony because it's like 8 in the morning, I'm being loud, and I'm standing out here in nothing but my Batman boxers. Okay, so this is the physique so far. We are sitting at about 182 pounds. For me, that realm, going from low 180s to high 170s, is when my physique crosses over from, you know, looking lean and looking good for the general public and, like, you know, looking beach ready to looking shredded. To the point where, like, you don't just look good for the general public, you look good for fitness social media. Because as we all know on fitness social media, unless you're 10% body fat or under, you're pretty much considered obese. But in the meantime, so it is about 8:30 in the morning now that I've been rambling for a while. But what I do for my morning routine is, number one, I wake up, and I try to wake up a little bit earlier. I always find that if I wake up around like 7 or 8 in the morning, I'll have such a productive morning in terms of work. That's actually one of the reasons why, guys, if you remember back in high school, they would always put more difficult quantitative courses. We're talking like math, physics, calculus. They'd always put that in the beginning of the day. That's what oftentimes, I remember for me, all 4 years of high school, math was always my first period. There actually have been studies done, and there actually is evidence that your brain works a little bit better for that kind of thinking, that kind of productivity. It works better in the morning as opposed to later in the day. I used to be the kind of person that would wake up a little bit later because I love sleeping in, and that's a bad thing. You know how some people are morning people? Yeah, that's not me. Which is another reason why I really incorporate and advocate intermittent fasting in my lifestyle, In addition to, you know, obviously dieting, and it makes appetite control a little bit easier, and it gives you the ability to have kind of bigger meals in a shorter time window as opposed to the opposite, you know, less fulfilling, smaller meals and just more of them throughout the day. In addition to that, I also love the productivity aspect of it, because you wake up and instead of being like, all right, I gotta spend 45 minutes cooking breakfast, eating breakfast, sitting down, you know, kind of like, you start your day off kind of just chilling. I'm like, none of that. I'll deal with that. That'll be my lunch. That'll be my reward. You know, I'll make myself a meal, watch like 30 minutes of YouTube, chill, relax. That'll be my reward later in the day after I've woken up and I've spent 3, 4, 5 hours getting a lot of awesome productive work done. So we'll get there soon, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go do some cardio. This has been kind of my morning routine recently. I like to wake up, do about 20, 25 minutes of cardio. I just run like 4 or 5 kilometers up and down the coast. It's beautiful. You get some fresh air. You wake yourself up. Caffeine is awesome, but nothing's gonna wake you up just like fresh air and exercise. It's gonna add years to your life. I've always talked about how I just love the fact that you can become a bodybuilder, but you can also be cardiovascularly healthy. I never want to be the guy who was like 220 and shredded, but I can't walk up like 1 flight of stairs without like, no, I don't want to be like that. So always get some cardio done. Also, you know, it's fantastic. Some fasted cardio adds about, like for me, about 200 additional calories burnt in the morning just to increase my total calorie deficit. Come back, take a shower, get to work, and then lunchtime later in the day, that's when I finally get to, I get my reward. I get my lean chicken and vegetables. Damn it.
12 seconds later.
So, halfway done. It's about 2 kilometers. I got another 1.5, 2 kilometers left. It's getting hard. I really got to improve my cardio. I haven't jogged in like the entire off season, which is pretty bad. I don't recommend that. So I just got back into it about a month ago. It's getting better, but I got a long way to go to get back to where I used to be. Okay guys, so cardio done. Probably got around 250 calories burnt. Nice, great way to start the day. That means that today my calorie target was 2200, but now I get to add those additional calories on top. So it's gonna be about 2400, maybe 2450. But now I'm gonna go hop in the shower, change, get to work, start the day off nice. And as you can tell, I'm a bit sweaty, I'm a bit gross, I'm a bit everything. So let's change that. Okay, much better. Nice, clean, fresh, and I'm sporting the all-powerful, fancy Pizza Cat. So it's about 9 o'clock. Good, fresh, nice start to the day. And I'm gonna get a lot of work done. That way it's good. I'm fresh. Still no food in me. Might have like a Monster or a cup of coffee just for a little bit of caffeine, something to wake me up, something to refresh me. So I'm gonna go get a lot of work done, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later in the day. Okay guys, first meal of the day. This is kind of random, but screw it, looks good. So I picked up one of these at the store. It's kind of like one of those roasts that you get. You take it, pop in the oven, and it comes out like that. I don't know why. This is a very random first meal of the day. My breakfast is pretty much what most people eat for like Thanksgiving or something, but it looked good. It's lots of protein. The fat is surprisingly not too high. So I'm gonna have that, but also on the side, I can't just eat like a pound of meat and then call it a day. That can't be healthy. So I'm gonna have a snack. We got about 100 grams of raw carrots and about 35 grams of hummus, and then a Diet Coke. And that is it. So we're gonna have lots of protein. Unfortunately, a good amount of fat, and very, very, very little carbs, but we're still getting a good, probably 1 or 2 servings of veggies. Okay guys, so going for a workout today. We are finally training legs. A lot of guys always ask like, dude, bro, do you skip leg day? Do you train legs? Yes, I do. I just don't always film it because it's obviously not one of the more glorious kind of workouts as opposed to like, you know, getting the pump, getting all that good stuff. Plus there are a few other reasons which I will talk about in a minute. But in the meantime, I want to show you guys, we got an awesome shipment from My Protein. Thank you so much to my sponsor because this has made my diet so much easier. As you can tell, I am kind of addicted. These are the protein wafers, just like these little like protein kind of, you know, snack things. So guys, if you have an issue with things like, you know, you have a sweet tooth, and if you snack a lot, but you know, you also have an issue with hitting your protein, this is pretty much like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, so it definitely helps. If you guys are interested, as always, link and discount codes in the description box below. But in the meantime, it's time to train. Notice that I'm not pointing to my calves. Okay guys, back with the commentary. Today, I want to do something we haven't done in a little bit of a while. Welcome to a leg day workout commentary. I think my last leg day that I filmed and talked about on my channel, it was literally like 2 months ago. And there is good reason for that, guys. We'll get into it in a minute. It's not that I haven't been training legs, it's that I have not been able to train legs with the same intensity as I do my other muscle groups. And on my channel, I always try to, like, you know, if my channel has like a theme, it's like intensity, it's balls to the wall, it's difficult, it's hard, but it's kind of like, you know, a difficulty that you love. It's like when you're training and it's hard and there's sweat, there's blood, but you friggin' love every second of it because you're pushing your body, you know, to new limitations which you never thought possible. That, you know, going to 100% is fine, but pushing it further, 102, 103, 104%, those final few percent, that is what I love about my channel. That is what I love about fitness. That is what drives me. And I haven't been able to do that with legs in a while, and that's why I haven't put it up. Now, the reason behind that is it's because of Accutane. So, you guys, for those of you that don't know, I was on Accutane, which is a very, very hardcore drug for your skin. I've been dealing with acne since I was like 15, 16. Accutane is a very powerful drug, which will just, it's pretty much the nuclear bomb. It's like, it's the last resort. You know, you gotta try your skin creams, your Proactive, all that, you know, bullshit you see on like the infomercials.
Hi, I'm Katy Perry. I tried everything to get rid of my acne. So one day, I ordered Proactive Solution. Within a couple of weeks, my skin cleared up fast.
You lying bitch! And after that, you can go to this. This, it does work, 100%. However, anything that's very powerful, there's gonna be a high risk to reward ratio. The higher the reward is, the higher the risk is. Now, one of those risks, unfortunately, was joint pain. And this didn't really affect me for the first 3 to 4 months. However, towards the end of my treatment, we're talking 4, 5, 6 months, it started to get pretty bad, which is coincidentally when my leg training, it just went to shit. The last time I put up a leg training workout on my channel, it was around December, and I was doing like 315 pounds. I was doing like 4 working sets with, you know, 6, 8, somewhere around there. So a pretty good strength level. Not 100% my best, but, you know, pretty damn close. 90 to 95% of probably my all-time best in terms of strength, endurance, volume, everything. However, the last 1 to 2 months, joint pain became kind of a problem. It got to the point where it wasn't just my heavy working sets. Like, I'd go in the gym and I'd put 2 plates, like 225 pounds. Normally that's like literally 60% of my estimated 1 rep max. I would put that on the bar. I would warm up, I would stretch, I'd put on knee sleeves, I'd do everything, and then just doing a few reps of that. Just my warm-up set. It would cause significant pain. So this only got worse. It got to the point where even like taking stairs would be problematic. So one thing I do advocate is you have to listen to your body. And there's 2 things that I did to remedy this situation. Number 1 is I stopped squatting. It sucks, I hate it, but I couldn't do it. So I did train legs, but I pretty much go into the gym and it wouldn't focus necessarily on building up my legs, building up strength, building up muscle mass. I went in the gym and I literally just did like a set of leg extensions, some hamstrings, some calves, and I'd go home. And the main goal of that was just to maintain muscle mass, at least until a point where my knees, my joints, they rehabilitate themselves. I don't know if it's gonna take 1 month. I mean, I've read online it could take as long as 2 weeks after you stop Accutane. By the way, I stopped about a month ago, so any day now, it could take as little as 2 weeks or as long as 6 to 12 months. So I have no idea where I fall in that spectrum, but you know, I hope it gets better. It has been getting better, but it's not necessarily there yet. So pretty much like a month and a half, I had to stop training squats. I would still do legs, but like literally, like you know that rant I went on about 2 minutes ago about like balls to the wall, hard training? You know, I would go in the gym and I'd do push day, pull day, and it was just hardcore and awesome. And then my leg day was like, I pretty much went from Arnold Schwarzenegger to like those 60-year-old ladies doing the Zumba fitness classes at your local mall. Yeah, not that great. Besides that, another thing which I did, and it has helped me, I think this is a big reason as to why I have been able to return to squatting and intense leg training, is I've been focusing a lot more on stretching and mobility. And I don't mean, guys, like, you know, you go in the gym and you're like, oh, I gotta do squats. And you put on like half your normal weight, you bust out like 1 crappy set, you do your 40 seconds of quad stretching and you think you're done. No, I would actually go in the gym and spend a solid 15 to 20 minutes on lower body stretching and lower body mobility. If you guys are interested, if you have issues with squatting or lower body exercises in general, or if you feel that you're never quite there, you kind of feel stiff or you kind of feel sore, definitely check out a few of the resources I will link in the description box below. There are some excellent lower body mobility routines. They give you some great ideas. There are some videos by Matt Ogus, Meg Squats, Omar Isuf. All three of them have excellent lower body mobility videos or routines. So definitely, if you guys are interested in this and if you want to improve your squat and you want to start your squat workouts a little bit more loose, a little bit more fresh, and a little bit more safer, because this does help prevent injury, definitely check out those videos below. They have helped me a lot, and I assure you they will help you as well. However, besides all that, I'll be honest, leg training, it sucks, because I went from doing like 315 for reps to now I don't think I can do it like once, simply because of a combination of lack of training over the last 1 to 2 months and pain. Pretty much have to build my squat back up from scratch. Does it suck? Yeah, but you know what? That's how the world works. You don't like it? Take it up with, I don't know, God? Like, what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do about it. And that's one thing I want to talk about before I close out this video. Guys, this is a harsh lesson that I need to tell myself. I need to reaffirm this in my mind, and I need to tell you guys. Probably, a few of you out there, this can definitely help. And it's a harsh lesson, but it's something that I and you guys probably need to hear. How do I put this without sounding like a complete jackass? Nobody gives a shit about you. The universe doesn't give a shit about you. You can have a sob story for whatever. Like, oh, it's really hard for me and it's easier for them and they're just genetically better than me, or he puts on muscle easier, or I got injured, he didn't get injured, or, that person like loses weight easier. That sucks, but that's life. And you know what? Nobody is gonna make accommodations for this. You go into a job interview and they test you, candidate A and candidate B, they test your skills. They're not gonna ask you like, wait a second, that guy had it easier because he's better at computers, or that guy had it better because he spent, his mom knows the skills for this job and that's an unfair advantage. Nobody cares about that. Can you do this? How well can you do this? Okay, can you do this? How well can you do this? That's it. That's the only variable that's, important for this position. And in lots of cases in life, when it comes to fitness or anything, that's all that matters. Guys, we live in a harsh world. It's a dog eat dog. It's not dog eat dog. It's like dog devours dog world. That's the truth of it. It's capitalism. Some people are going to succeed, some people are going to fail. It's a zero-sum game. So the reason that this pertains to me is because it sucks that I had to take this substance, which, had to clear something up, which like 95% of people don't even have to deal with. And it really sucks because this thing that I took for my skin, it started affecting me from a fitness performance standard. And it's almost unfair that now, like, my squat is going to decrease and my leg development is pretty much like pushed back a step, whereas for other people, they don't have to encounter the same hindrance. But you know what? Nobody gives a shit. You guys probably won't give a shit. Nobody will give a shit. At the end of the day, if I go to a powerlifting meet or if I go to a bodybuilding competition or whatever, whose legs are bigger, whose squat is bigger? Nobody's asking you what your individual circumstances and hardships are. Nobody cares. It sucks, but that is how the world works. So one thing that I need to try to remember is that when I'm going through difficulties, yeah, it sucks. But you know what? There are probably people out there who are going through difficulties as well, perhaps even harder difficulties than I have, something more difficult than I could even comprehend, but they're battling it internally. So there's no right for me to sit here and whine and give excuses as to why I'm not as big as I should be, or why I'm not as strong as I should be, or like I said, with regards to your career, why someone's smarter than you, or why someone's better at this job, or getting paid this or getting paid that. It doesn't matter, because in the time that you sit there bitching, whining, moaning, complaining, you can be improving that. You can be closing the gap between you and this other person who's better than you. And eventually, if you spend less and less time complaining and more time working, getting better, focusing on your weaknesses, building them up into new strengths. You need to do that to catch up to whoever's in front of you. You can sit there and bitch and cry and whine, but that's only going to increase the gap between you, because the person in front of you, he's not going to stop. He's not going to turn around. He's not going to backpedal and be like, hey, what's wrong? Is this unfair? No, he's going to bullet down the finish line. That's how life is, and it sucks. So you know what? Whatever. I'll build my squat back up, and eventually it may take months, it may take friggin' years. I don't know how long it's gonna take until my legs and my quads are back to normal, but I'll do whatever it takes to get back to where I was and surpass myself. Even if it's by, a few percent, and even if it takes me months of grueling, difficult workouts where I'm just like drenched in sweat and my legs feel like they're about to fall off. But I'll fucking do it. And I hope that anybody else out there who is experiencing something similar, I hope they'll do it too. Sorry for the rant, guys. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially the ones who stuck this long and stuck throughout this 10-minute rant filled with my poor attempt at metaphors. But I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.